Welcome to our site. Thanks for showing interest in our mini orchard collection. It's really going to transform the way you grow your own fruits in your garden, not just this year, but for the next 40 to 50 years. So what do you get? You're getting Victoria plum. Without doubt, year in, year out, the most popular plum because it tastes great, it's juicy, it's sweet, and it's so basically multi-purpose in the kitchen. Jams, pies, preserves, you name it, you can do it with Plum Victoria. You've got Pear Conference, sweet, juicy, just bursting with that lovely juice that comes, it drips off your chin off of fully ripe fruit. Magnificent. Then you've got Braeburn apple, without doubt the UK's most popular eating apple, and deservedly so. It's crisp, it's tangy, it's juicy, and it will last for many, many weeks after picking, up to 12 weeks from picking. So these three trees will give you literally hundreds of pounds of fruit from around about the second, third year. But don't worry, you'll get some fruit this year, you'll get a little bit more next year, and from the third year onwards, you will get big, bumper, commercial-sized crops that will go on for 40 to 50 years. These are the commercial grade trees. They're on special roots. They've been grafted, and I'm going to explain that to you in a few minutes. So you've got these special roots which stop the tree getting too big. However big or small your garden, even if you want to grow these in pots on the patio, you can, because they'll never get taller than approximately 6 foot after 10 years. Now, I promised I'd explain what rootstocks were and what they do, and most importantly, the difference that these rootstocks will make to your trees when they're planted in your garden. You've got the rootstock, which is this area here. This process, believe it or not, started 4 years ago. That's when this tree, when the whole thing began life. Just here, this swollen area that we can see just near my finger, what you've got there is what's called the graft. Okay, so you've got the rootstock here. This is the thing that makes the tree dwarf and makes it give you big bumper crops. A piece of the Braeburn apple has been taken, it's been grafted onto the rootstock 2 years ago, and that's what's giving you this beautiful tree now. We're going to show you how to plant a fruit tree. Okay, it's really, really straightforward. It doesn't matter what kind of fruit tree you want to grow in your garden, whether it's a cherry, whether it's an apple, a pear or a plum, doesn't matter. The same technique applies. Okay, so I've decided this is where I want to actually plant the tree. So I'm going to take myself out a nice planting hole. Okay, now I'm really lucky at home because what I've got here is just the best soil. It's lovely, silty loam, great to work. And of course, many of you guys at home will have similar soil, but it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't really matter what the soil type is. You can grow them in any soil. So here we are, planting hole. You can see here, I'm taking it down to a reasonable depth. Okay. One more spadeful. Right, I'm going to pop my spade there for a minute. This is one of the really important tricks now. When you're planting any tree in the garden, get yourself a fork. This is my favourite fork. Just fork over the bottom of the hole. And people say, well, why'd you do that? One of the reasons you would do that is because it allows the roots to penetrate deeper and wider into the soil. Now, because I've fluffed that up a little bit, I perhaps just need to take a small amount additionally out. Now, the next step. When you plant trees, one of the most important things is to pop some food in. This is bloodfish and bone. You'll see this in the fertiliser section of the website. Just dust some of this on, literally around about that much, because again, this is an opportunity to feed this tree so you get it off to the best possible start. Okay, then just fork that in. Okay, now here's the tree. Again, top tip here, get yourself a bucket of water. Okay, now I've got a good bucket here. I'm just going to top that up a bit more. Okay, I think that'll probably do. That's round about halfway up. I'm just going to pop this in, and I'm going to give those roots a really good soak. What it's doing is it's just bringing those roots back to life, tenderising them if you like, so that they're ready to start drawing liquid up. Now, the next job is position it in the planting hole. What you'll see here, the graft mark here, which is just above the soil level. I can do this by eye. If you're not sure, get a piece of wood and lay it across the top of the hole as a guide. Okay, and now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of this soil just in there, just gently. And then here's a trick that was shown to me by one of my horticultural college lecturers. If you just give the tree a little shake, it just allows the soil to get in there among those delicate roots. Okay, now Again, I think that's nicely upright, so I'm quite confident here to just backfill a bit more soil. And this is one of the most important stages, so I'm happy it's upright. There we are. I'm just now going to firm the soil in. Doesn't have to be really hard, but put your full body weight on there. Okay, that's looking good. So, off we go. Bit more soil around here. All the time, of course, making sure that that graft union is going to remain just above the soil level. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a shallow area just there, so that when I water the tree in, the water collects there, which is perfect. So when the water collects there, it will then go down to the roots exactly where it needs to be. So here goes. The tree's in. I'm happy with its position. I'm happy it's straight. In we go with some water. And you can see the water's going straight into the soil just where the tree has been planted. It's not running away because we've created that lovely saucer shape there to collect the water. We give it around about 1 to 2 gallons. And as the tree emerges, here we are in early March. Perfect time, March, April and into May, perfect time for planting trees and shrubs. Here we are. This will break bud within the next 1 to 2 weeks. You can see the buds are just beginning to show signs of coming back to life. You'll get some blossom this year, you'll get a limited amount of fruit this year, and then for years and years to come, that in this case is a perfect pear tree right adjacent to the patio. Now I mentioned earlier, you can also grow these in pots on the patio. So if you want to take full advantage of the mini orchard but you think you haven't got space, or even perhaps you're moving house fairly soon, don't worry about it. These pots are available on the website. Okay, they're 30 litres in size, and they've got good grab handles, great drainage both through the sides and through the bottom there, so really, really perfect for growing trees in. We'll get some compost in here first. Okay, I filled that about 1/4. Bloodfish and bone, important slow release nutrient for the plants here. We've had our tree soaking now. Not just a few minutes is fine, but it's been soaking in some water just to reactivate those roots. More compost. Just rest the tree on your shoulder as you do this. Settle the compost in around the roots. So we've got a nice upright tree. Just firm it around. And you really just need to leave approximately 2 inches of space. Okay, that leaves just one thing to do, which is to gently water it in. Okay, I'm happy with that. The tree's nicely upright. The rootstock here is above the level of the compost, which is exactly where it needs to be. So what you've got there is a typical example of how this tree could look on your patio. Perfect for years and years to come. Now, if you'd like to buy the collection immediately, the buy now button's just down here on your right hand side as you're looking at the screen. You'll get Victoria plum, delicious. You'll get Braeburn apple, just so zesty and tangy, and you'll also get Conference pear. 3 of the very best variety included. Buy them now. We'll ship your trees to you within 10 to 14 days, and you can get them planted. They'll burst into growth, and you'll be picking delicious fruits from your own gardens later this year. But what's more, you'll have a bumper crop for up to 50 years after that as well.